But Sasuke's daughter, who when translated to English is going to be Salad.
But they're actually going to translate it to Salad.
Well, I don't know if we're going to exactly do it, but her name is Sarda. And in Japan, there's not an R. Or there's not an... like, L's and R's in Japan, when they come to English countries, get changed around all the time. That's why in
There's
Germany...
no R in Salad.
Yeah, I know. But it's Sarada.
And they're probably going to keep it as Sarada.
Yeah, but in some countries he's Ruffy, not Luffy.
Why?
Because of that sound.
That doesn't make any sense.
There's no natural R or L in Japan. So when they try to do that stuff, they don't know how to translate it correctly. It's just shitty translations.
Jumping directly into fire.
That's not fire, that's ghost flames. Quickly, living dead girl, get in there. Just kick it. Small blades are worthless. I don't care what anyone says in this game. Small blades are the worst.
They really are.
So for Windmill, nothing beats Windmill.
That was awesome.
But yeah, a common translation of her name, and like Zoro and Zolo from Japan. That's a mistranslation.
Huh?
Alright, Zoro from One Piece.
Okay.
When translating it, they're like, well, is it Zoro or is it Zolo? Because there's not that letter in the Japanese alphabet. So when he came to America, he was Zolo, not Zoro.
But he's clearly Zolo. Or Zoro.
Exactly, and it's confusing because it's fucking annoying.
So what you're telling me is
people
that
can't translate right because they don't have the letters to it.
But they're the one naming it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they know what the fuck they named their own thing?
It's translations. It's not naming your own thing. Because do you remember how
proper names should always be preserved?
Yeah, but you're missing the point of this being a translation.
You're missing the point of the fact that translation should keep proper names preserved.
Yeah, but what is the proper name if the letter doesn't exist?
Then you listen to a native speaker read the word and pronounce it.
Yeah, and what if it's a heavy accent?
Then you fucking give it your best guess and don't drop letters.
They don't have the letters. Do you not fucking listen?
Well, you just said they don't have an R sound, but yet the character's
they
name
don't
has
have
an
a
R.
character for like an R in Japan.
Then how the fuck do people know how to read it?
They don't. It's confused with an L.
But okay, so people that are reading the language when
I'm just going to stop.
This is where I am confused. Because how can you have like if
it's a foreign idea, isn't it?
No, like you have the that's like saying it doesn't have the D sound. Like okay,
no,
what do you mean?
Have the character in the
DE
alphabet.
sound or the DA sound? But it has the sound.
Yeah, they still pronounce words like that.
Then why can't you translate it based on the sound?
Because they don't have a character for that. So when they write it, there's nothing there to put. They have to go with the next best thing.
But the person knows what. But a native speaker is gonna know what it says.
Yeah, but that's not always what. Fuck it, I'm just done.
But that's what I'm getting at. It's like the native speaker. Just like the original.
Just your autism acting up.
No, it isn't. It's just legitimately doesn't make any sense. And the reason it doesn't make any sense is because what you're saying doesn't make any sense. It's like saying that sound doesn't exist because the letter doesn't exist. Okay,
no,
the letter
doesn't
exist. It's fine. The sound still's there.
The sound exists. The letter does not.
Okay.
Okay. I think I'm confusing it. I think it's L. There is no character in Japanese language for L.
But how do they make the law sound then? What character combination do they use? That's what I'm getting.
Well, pronunciation's completely different there too.
So
they don't probably use it.
So when they
name like a foreign character, something that has a very L like heavy name, they usually put an R there.
So light is right?
Yes. Raito.
So they called him right.
They called him Laito. Or Raito.
So they
Well, actually, his name would be Yagami.
Okay, so why...
Meaning light.
So why didn't they just translate it as Yagami? Like, that's what I'm saying.
It's not what the translation
proper noun.
is.
It's a name.
Yeah.
It's a name. Like, you know it's a name, so you should preserve it.
Yeah.
Not try to translate a name.
When they start doing that kind of shit, you know, well, okay, because his name's Luffy. Well, there's an R there, so is it Ruffy, or is it by the pronunciation Luffy?
It's Luffy.
Which one do we go with?
Luffy.
The written version or the heavily spoken version? That also sounds like there's an R there because they're not used to saying an L word.
It still would be Luffy, because that's what the original is calling for.
No, you just don't get that.
The difference is lost in translation between text. The problem is text. And I understand the problem is text. But we have these great things, we've had them for a while. They're called fucking phones. And you have people that speak multiple languages that are going to look at that and go, oh, this is how this should be said.
Yeah, by reading it, which would be Ruffy, not Luffy.
No, which would still be Luffy.
No, because they don't have a way to write that L.
Then why would you call it Luffy?
Because that's how they say it in the show.
That doesn't make any... Okay, that's the way they say it in the show, but which came first?
The book.
Okay, how did the book have it?
Where would have been put? It'd have been Ruffy.
So it should have been preserved.
Luffy. Even the guy who writes the book said it's Luffy.
Okay, then why didn't the book say Luffy?
Because there's no letter for it.
So when someone's reading the manga, they're reading the name wrong.
Yes.
Why? Why would you do that?
Because there was no way to do that. They didn't have names with L's in Japan.
That seems stupid.
You don't understand. You just can't comprehend it.
No, it just doesn't make any sense.
Because you're not used to it. I guess that makes sense.
It's just like everything has to have a sound. There is a way to make a sound between every combination. Otherwise, your language is limited.
But it's not presented that way.
Then
You're thinking this. You're thinking way too hard about it.
No, I'm thinking about it like you should be thinking about language. Not the fact that someone's retarded they can't translate.
The fact that the related language doesn't have characters for letters they don't really use, considering Japanese is, I believe, a hard consonant language.
Well, that's like saying that...
And then that they don't use L's for a lot. That's why, you know, it's not light, it's Yagami.
Which is fine, but why didn't they keep Yagami?
Because his name is Light in English.
His name is Yagami.
No, it's Light. Like
no,
Yagami.
It's Yagami.
Alright, have you ever called him Yagami before this conversation?
No, because I didn't know any
better. Exactly.
Right, because I didn't know any better.
Yeah, exactly.
But his name should be preserved.
Yeah, it is preserved in Japan.
That's like
Yagami.
Then why isn't it preserved during the translation?
Because his name translates to light, and it works just as well.
That is such a shitty excuse, though, because that's like saying that if someone wrote a book,
no, to you for
the Tale of Gilgamesh, for example, right?
Okay.
All right. Do you think Gilgamesh is an English fucking word? It's not. But do we preserve it? Yes. Why? Because it's a name. That's why.
You just heard that scream a little bit there.
But Jesus, like that's why your argument is shit.
My argument's not shit. It's just the truth.
It's bad. It's not an argument. There's no reason.
There's no reason for it to be an argument when it's the truth. That's just
why would you
change
the name? There's no reason to change the name. That's my point. It's a proper noun. You don't change that. When someone else is talking about you in a different language, they'll fucking say Brian. They'll fucking say Adam.
Actually, they don't, because they don't have those names.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
They do not.
Do you?
They have versions of our names.
Okay,
but they are not Brian. They are not Adam.
Yes, they are.
I'm fucking
Yes,
done.
they are. Listen to a fucking foreign news report. You can pick out names. You know why? Because they're American names. They're English names. They don't fucking translate names. Like, listen to a foreign report on President Obama. They don't fucking translate Obama to...
Because there's nothing to translate it to.
You're right, there isn't, exactly!
But when they translate something like light, which is Yagami in Japan...
Which you wouldn't do because it's a name!
Either way.
It's a name! Done. You don't translate names!
The stream's already over anyway.
But I'm still playing, Brian.
That's fine. You can keep playing.
So, on another subject, let's not talk about translation. Because, you know, you don't...
What the fuck is this?
Got real. Got real up in this bitch.
It didn't get real.
Got real.
We have an argument over dumb shit.
Yeah.
Night, everybody. Mwah.